If you want to spread out a little bit, you can. All right.
Daylight. I wake up feeling like it won't play right. I used to know.
Hey there, fuckers. Welcome back to the podcast.
What? New face?
What was this guy?
Yeah, fucking celebrity guy over here looking like Christopher Nolan.
You old timers might remember this guy. You might not. Pat, who are you? That is a good question. Very deep and philosophically thinking. I am an entity on this earth, hellbound to make really bad movies, like Bird Eye Gordon.
And that's just the tip. There's a whole shaft following that tip. We're talking Pat here.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Alex.
Give it up for. Why are you pointing at me? I was pointing at. I'm literally. Oh, hey, I'm Yule. Yeah, again. You should know by now.
And we got our first celebrity appearance here.
I thought Dominic was
I
our
thought
first.
Dom was.
Is Dominic, though, after all the shit he's pulled? Huh?
Canceled much?
Calling out his X-Men shirt? Dominic leads into Kyle, which leads into Right Ways Down. Killer Popcorn, which both titles include Pat.
The secret back door to both productions.
That's a pretty big filmography. Just saying.
Hey, Yule, you want to tee him off?
All right, to tee you up. How did you feel about going into Killer Popcorn?
Oh, I was actually extremely excited. I was probably the only one that read the script, from what I know, or finished it, should I say. I read way too much into it. I saw things the producer did not intend as a writer. I was ready to work on it, and it derailed faster than a broken train.
Wait, you saw more in the script than the writer did?
Well, there was two writers, actually. Ryan Hartman and Trevor Lane. And when their brains got together, it made a very interesting child. I actually found a 2017 version of the script. Like, there was an entire scene where KP went to a white supremacist little boy's birthday party. They were all dressed as SS officers, and he killed every single one of them.
What the fuck?
When Trevor was packing up and putting all his things away in the store, I found a child SS suit. So
Okay,
we were very lucky not to be shooting that scene.
Well, Pat, for the viewers who don't know, not me, I obviously know what the film is about, but what's the film about?
Yeah, I was going to ask because I don't really know. Like, what's the gist?
I don't know either, man.
Uh-oh.
To be honest, like I said, I assumed it was a psychological horror based off being stressed at work.
Oh, so Regency.
Oh my god, yeah. Me and Kyle put that stress deeply into that film, and then the producer was like, cut it out. I don't like it. It should be shorter. I know what the people want.
Oh, man.
So what was it actually?
Gore porn. He just wants more kills. If you know the movie Greasy Strangler, that's the direction he wanted to push us.
Is it like Hobo with the Shotgun?
That's what we wanted to make.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what we wanted to make, to be honest.
And you didn't?
Well, we'll see what the two cuts bring out.
There's two cuts?
Well, my cut and Trevor's cut. He keeps calling it the director's cut, but I call it the bootleg cut.
We're having a Snyder cut of Killer Popcorn?
Oh, yes.
Snyder.
I already akined it to that, talking with Kyle. It's like, I feel like Zack Snyder trying to push together a film that I don't have any say of editing.
So you guys are in post-production, right?
We've been in post-production hell for a while, correct?
Oh, ouch. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's coming out next week.
Hopefully. Our original release date was 4/20/2020.
No way.
Yeah, that was the original release date.
Wow. What do you think was the major contribution to that?
COVID, bad scheduling. COVID, bad scheduling. People not doing their jobs, bad scheduling. COVID. That's about it.
So who's production? Who's the producer for this film? Because that kind of falls back on them, doesn't it?
Oh, it also goes upon the special effects, the producer, the myself even, because we often had to wait for me to come down to be able to do the big scenes. We were waiting for, I think, 2-3 weeks to get certain effects done that we were promised a month before sometimes.
Now, Pat is the editor, but that's
editor,
not your
director
only
of
job.
photography. I was key grip also. I ran around, did everything. I did lighting. Jeff did lighting, did camera. He did boom. He was one of our best boom men. I wish he stayed for the entire production. I really do.
See, I was under the impression that there was no skill for being a boom person because literally all you do is you hold the pole that has the microphone at the end of it. Apparently that's a skill that needs to be acquired because,
How did you fail at that?
I don't know if you guys want me to tell my story on Killer Popcorn.
Please do.
Yeah.
Hey, add some perspective here.
I only showed up for 2 weekends. I thought I was going to be paid gas to go, but I was only paid a tri-tip sandwich. So the first day, it was just Pat, Kyle, and I hanging out at the video store because no one showed up.
Really?
So we spent an entire day getting like
B-roll.
B-roll shots of inside the video store.
And on the roof.
And then the second day we spent setting up a scene on the roof, like where these witches are in this weird little hole in the roof. The second weekend I went up was the scene that is referred to as the A-listers, which is, I don't know, do you want me to talk about that? Am I able to talk about that?
You can talk up from Street Chrome to A-listers, how you filmed it, yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene where they're on the street and these guys in costumes are yelling.
They're called the Pricks of Agony. There's the foot, the takeout box, and Americannabis. The foot represents a massage parlor. The takeout box represents a Thai food restaurant.
Titanic.
Oh, God.
Original. And then there's Americannabis, which is an American-themed cannabis store.
It sounds like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, these guys are yelling at the main character who's dressed as a popcorn box from across the street. So we had to go across the street, and they were supposed to cross in the middle of this busy, just like Las Vegas street, just jaywalk across. And I was trying to figure out how I could do that. You know, the way I direct, too, is like, I need to know my actors a little bit before I can direct them.
Yeah.
So I kind of get opinions from, like, the actors and stuff, and I kind of gauge what would work best for them so that they are in their element, and then I work around that. These three guys were not understanding that whatsoever. Because I was like, hey, so I'm thinking about, stop fighting up there, Jesus Christ. You're just going to hear the bells jingling of my cats. But so I was, like, asking them questions like, hey, what's the best way, what kind of interactions do you think you guys want to pull off in this? And they're like, just tell us where to go. And I was like, yeah, we're going to go across the street, but, I mean, do you guys have dialogue? Do you guys want to, like, do you think it'd be cool if we do a couple of takes where you do some dialogue and then somewhere you don't? Or you guys got any good ideas for, like, something you could get? No, we just let's go. And so I'd start rolling the camera, and then they wouldn't give me shit. And I'm like, okay, so this isn't working out. Like, how can we make this better? And then Trevor comes across the street, and he's like, what's going on? You guys are taking a long time. I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out how to get the shot. And he's like, oh, okay, well, do you want me to take the camera? And I'm like, okay, here you go.
Is he an experienced cameraman?
No!
Do you want to see the clips?
Oh, God.
So basically, he was like, okay, let's go.
No.
And so they, instead of jaywalking like they wanted to, we walked a block down to the crosswalk, waited for the crosswalk, went across the street, and then went back up a block to where they were at. And he filmed the whole thing like this. And
like found footage.
yeah, and the thing was, is this guy was spinning around like crazy. He was not waiting for me or the sound guy to get out of the way. So like half the time, me and him are in the shot with these other characters.
Oh my God.
And it was the whole time. And so like when Kyle and I, when we got home when we got back to his place that night, he's like, Jeff, what the fuck is this? And I was like, yeah, you can tell that's not me because I'm there in the back of the shot. That was Trevor. And he's like, oh, why'd you give the camera to him? I'm like, because none of his actors were listening to me and he wanted the camera. So It's his movie. I'll let him fuck it up.
Oh, he's doing a fucking fantastic job of that.
And then the next night was the A-listers, which is a dream sequence where the popcorn guy kills them
while he's being raped.
Yeah, and that was a fun night.
Wait, is this the night where the hooker controversy was happening?
No. That's the one with the Chinese guy who was yelling Asian slurs right next to a Chinese restaurant while Chinese people were coming out. It was bad.
Oh,
it was bad as hell.
No. Did someone tell you anything?
No, but a lot of people stopped. A lot of people stopped. It was not okay.
Wow.
And this was a white dude, and he was wearing the bowl cut Bruce Lee with the buck teeth and
full
the
Mickey Rooney, full Marlon Brando.
It was bad. It was bad. You guys can see.
Is that gonna be in the movie?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Throw your roll around, guys. Hey, Mr. Holder! Hey, Mr. Holder! Yeah!
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so these guys are. It was a fun shoot though that night because there was a lot of blood squirting. It was just a lot of kills, so it was easy to shoot. It was fun. The guy who plays the killer popcorn monster is a really cool guy. Like,
One of
he's
the best
so
actors I've
nice.
worked with.
There's a story with you, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stories with you.
Probably.
Where you guys hired someone that was their specialty was what you guys hired them for, and you ended up, was it doing more or fixing it or doing something better? Well, how did that go?
Be more concise on said specialty.
I think it was special effects.
Special effects.
Or was it puppeteering? Or something with the mannequin maybe?
Oh, okay. So Miranda was given the task of making a bob-a-buck, I should say, of just his torso, all his torso, and Orville stabs him with some garden shears and makes him a new one, if you know what I mean. And there's a giant talky bit right here for the stomach. And she used the legit mannequin we gave her and just put a mouth on it.
Oh.
So it was a hard mannequin with a soft, talky stomach. We were expecting 3 to 4 of those, all made out of foam latex, with like however she wanted to do it. And she was just supposed to like make copies of the torso we gave her, and make multiple of them so we can fuck them up.
Yeah.
We were planning to actually stab them with the real garden shears and actually, do our thing and have actual stabs into it. But we had a show pony, and we were being watched like hawks for a show pony. And when we were doing it, I looked at it and I was like, this is a really nice puppet. I put my hands in it and I'm like, oh, this isn't a nice puppet. Because the next thing I know, the popsicle sticks that were the mouth broke under my fingers.
Oh, shit.
And as the blood was squirting out of the mouth, it made the popsicle sticks softer and easier to break.
Oh, no.
So, after a few takes, she turns to me and is like, oh, that's your screen. And you know my puppeteering screen. And she's like, oh, can I have that so I can see how much blood I'm doing? And I'm like, fine, sure, whatever, take it. So I was running blind the entire time, just listening to Kyle's voice. Using my puppeteer mastery to make this stomach talk.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing. Just on top of that, the video store while we were shooting in it was open while we were shooting in it.
Oh,
What?
wow.
So there were customers coming in while we were in the middle of a take because we would have the door open, but there would be a sign on the door that says closed. So these people were just going through the movies, and I was sitting there like, hey, are we gonna say anything about this? Who's this guy? And I would have to be the guy
Tell him
who
to
goes
stay out
up
of shot.
there, and I'm like, hey, look, we're not open right now. Could you? Well, where's your manager? I don't work here. Why are you here then? We're shooting a movie. It's like I just need to rent this movie. I'm like, I don't know how to work any of this. Nobody here knows how to work the. Well, sorry, I'm not leaving. You said it says you're open. I'm like, did you read the sign on the fucking door? It says we're closed. It's like, well, I'll write you a bad review. I'm like, I don't fucking care. It's not my store. We're filming a movie. Get the fuck out. Yeah, that happened like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, wow.
It was
That day.
It was bad.
Jesus Christ.
It was bad. That was one thing that now I remember.
Was that a common thing that you had to deal
Yeah,
with?
it got to
Yes.
the point to where I started asking Trevor if I can get shots of the customers and Logan, the guy that plays Orville, to actually serve real customers. He said no.
Oh. Where did you guys get these people? Like the actors?
Legitly, Trevor legitly just worked, and anyone that would come into his movie place, he finagled a way to get them into the film. And that's how actually Kyle got roped into this as well. Kyle went to this blockbuster-esque movie place to rent some movies, and next thing you know, they're talking movie shop because, you know, Kyle will not take the opportunity to talk about films. So, next thing you know, Kyle's roped into this film. He's the second director being shot for this, and he decides to stay in. And almost every other person, besides me, besides Jeff, were roped in because they came into a store or something like that.
What's the runtime?
As of right now, we are supposed to have it at 1 hour and 30 minutes. We have it at an hour and 45 or so.
Did you say 5 hours?
No.
An hour and 45.
Oh, I was about to say, what? The audio cut. I was like...
Right Ways Up's gonna be the 5-hour one.
Okay, so speaking of Right Ways Up, on a level of Right Ways Down to this film, like, how would you say production was? Because you've been on a lot of... Has Kyle done any other projects besides Right Ways Down?
Besides the bullshit that I've had him do for my other shit, not really.
He has 2 other movies, but he made those while he was living up in Central California before he met us. So our experience with Kyle is really only Right Ways Down and the handful of videos we've had him in. Like, he's had him in Baked Bean Street and a couple other things. I had him in McSassins, the first one.
Other things. Fucking Night of the Living Exorcism.
Oh shit, yeah, he was in Night of the Living Exorcism. I always forget he was the hobo.
Even though that's one of the best scenes I've
It
ever made.
is the best scene, because we took him into Denny's looking like a hobo.
And they legit
And-
just put us in the fucking back.
Yeah, they did not want him in there.
Really?
Yeah, he was dirty as fuck. And he was covered in fake blood. And dude, I almost threw up a couple of times when we were eating. Because just the way he was living the hobo life in there.
Wow.
And then, wasn't it like when we were outside, we were playing the harmonica, someone gave him like actual cash, like when we were recording?
No way.
Yeah.
Holy shit, seriously?
Yeah, like they thought he was an actual hobo. He was out there playing the harmonica. It was fucking hilarious. So what your question was, how bad is it? Like,
Yeah, I was about to say, comparing the two, shooting Right Ways Down and Killer Popcorn with Kyle, of course, what would you say?
With Right Ways Down, we purposely took the time to let it breathe and stretched it over the 3 years of production it was, right? The time constraints and the go attitude of Killer Popcorn made us feel more of like a film company. Like, we actually have a time frame to make this in.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt good for a while. And then the COVID hit, and we felt the strain of, oh shit, is this movie dead? So there was a legit 2-month period where we did nothing because we weren't sure where it was going to go.
Wow.
So it was a completely different feel. I don't know if it was the COVID that made it feel that way, or it was because we were legitly lethargic for what we were dealing with.
Because you were probably like with momentum and then
Just
cut.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
damn.
Yeah.
Now, I want to know how you boom mic wrong. Like, do you just stand too far away? Like, what is it?
I think you get the boom mic in the shot. It's kind of like Bolt at the beginning.
Well, okay, so I got the boom mic on shot when I was practically by myself on set. It was me and Ryan. Ryan had been doing the boom for the entire movie practically. He was a co-writer, beautiful soul. I gave him a chance to be a cameraman.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, this is your baby. You get the choice of how this sex scene works. And he was actually 10 times better on the camera.
Really?
10 times better because he actually did the shots that I asked him to. But the thing is I got him in the camera more than he got me in the camera.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I was just too focused on watching Tweedledee and Tweedledum fuck each other. And next thing I know, I go back to the dailies and I'm like, fuck, there's Ryan. So
Wait a minute.
I worked around it.
You directed a sex scene.
Correct.
How did that go? How is that?
Yeah, tell me how direction for that goes.
I think I can't remember the excuse. Kyle wasn't there. It was either work related or Jocelyn related. Either way, I don't care why he wasn't there because it was one of my favorite nights working there. It started out with me and Trevor having a nice little shop talk of what shots I should be getting, what he expects to see at the end of the night, and I talked to Ryan. I was like, "Hey, you're gonna be cameraman because I need a second camera." He's like, "Okay." And I legitly got one of the beams and strapped the boom mic to it.
Oh my god.
So there's a legit boom mic sitting in the middle of the fucking thing, just waiting. And every once in a while, you can kind of see the head of the mic in the corner of the camera or so.
Oh, that's a shot.
Yep, that's another shot, definitely.
I'm looking forward to that.
Mm-hmm. But like, it slowly turned into the point to where it's like, oh, this is actually fun. And then I got them to be comfortable. And so I got Logan physically on top of me. And I recorded his crotch, just humping.
God.
And then I was like, you know what? We need an ass shot. So he pulled down his shorts, hiked it down to where his booty was showing, and Ryan got an ass shot of it just going up and down. And you've heard the audio. You've heard how awkward it was.
Yeah, it was. Pat showed me the audio. I don't know if we can get an audio clip of that actually, but it's literally like Pat saying, "Okay, get really close to the microphone and just moan like you're having some really good sex," and then you just hear them start going at it. And Pat was like, "What did you describe it as? You said it was like the best time of your life or something like that." Because these two people are just at the end of his microphone, just making these noises.
Yeah.
How did you not coax them into it, but how did you mold them to get the right moans that you wanted, or did you just be like, okay, I got one from you,
so throughout the entire night, Logan was pretending to be Kermit the Frog.
Oh, yeah. What?
I'm dead serious. That's what he was doing. Hey, Kathy, do you mind if I put it into your butt? What the? Hey, Kathy, what are you doing? I have a boner. Stop it. What the fuck?
Wow.
I'm dead serious. It's
So you guys
beautiful.
have Kermit the Frog sex audio?
Is there a BTS for that?
Porker, I love you.
Oh my god.
You want to hear my impressions?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you ever been fucked by Kermit the Frog?
No, but I want to.
Yeah, you're Miss Piggy.
Ooh.
You're my Piggy.
Oh, yeah.
I say Piggy, right? I'm gonna It's pork not- you, Porker. I'm gonna pork you so hard.
Oh, that's so hot.
Yeah,
Yeah, tell me it's not easy being green.
it ain't easy being green.
Oh, that's so fucking hot.
I would never be able to be a cameraman. I'd have a boner the whole time, dude.
You just reminded me of that
worst
fucking
time.
gif of that dude getting creamed faced while being a cameraman. You ever seen
Yeah,
that?
I've seen that.
I think I've seen that.
I think I've seen that too.
We've all seen
Jeff all
it.
the
Everybody's
way.
seen it. The viewers have seen it.
I'll just
It's my
be
worst
there,
fear. Like,
just all in shock, and then Kyle will be like, "Hey, I need a shot over here," and I'll just be like, "What?" Okay, and I'll turn and you'll just see a boner. I'm pitching a tent. I'll be
just like in the shadow above him.
It's like, what is that monolith?
like the pastor in Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
And he goes like, "Yeah," and it's just a boner.
Is this movie going to be good when we watch it? And when do you think we're going to get it finally?
How much Kraken do I need is the question.
Honestly, I'd say an open mind, and if you don't like the theatrical cut, just harass me for the bootleg cut. Okay. That's all I'd ask. Cause
That's the Snyder cut, right?
correct.
Okay.
That's the Mallery cut.
What's the runtime on the Mallery cut?
I'm gonna make it somewhere around 2:45.
Mm.
You know, a decent film length, because that's how much we have to work with logistically.
Oh wow.
So 2 hours 45 minutes of psychological horror. Like you cut it to a psych horror. I know we're out of time. I have like 4 minutes left on my camera, but I gotta know.
The psychological horror, but we are being sidetracked into a gore porn.
Okay.
Like I wish we were making a gore porn like Saw, but we are. It's a wannabe slasher if anything. So go in for that.
Okay.
Going for that wannabe slasher.
I'm hoping it's just a good time.
Oh, it's a good time. It's fucking decent film, decent, quick pacing now, but it does not feel like a Kyle film.
Okay.
It feels like something more that I would push out as a director of me trying something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I told him that this is one of my better films if it makes him feel better, and it kind of did. Like you can agree that we made it visually stunning. It looks beautiful. But you can tell where we let the actors go off script.
Okay.
So
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
You'll love it. You'll hate the idea that you had to wait for so long, but it will be decent to sit through.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it here. The first words on Killer Popcorn. We've been referencing it a lot on this podcast, and finally you get a little bit of details.
See one of the minds.
Yeah, one of the ones
The minds that are getting blown out.
most, who knows the struggle, and you know what? When we finally get to watch Killer Popcorn, it's going to be a longer episode. Show our reactions, and we'll get Kyle Acosta on to talk about directing it. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon. Hook up on Pat's channel, Blue Rhino Coco. We'll post that down in the
Coco. It's Coca.
Coca. Blue Rhino Coca with.
He's back on YouTube?
With Durf.
It's my secret channel with 12 subscribers.
Okay, maybe we won't link it down below. Do you want us to link it down below?
Goldmine, please bring me in more than 12 subscribers. I used to have 165.
Mom, go subscribe to Pat. That13. Like us or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all that bullshit.
Reddit, TikTok,
Quit
MySpace.
saying shit we don't have you every week.
If you do want to go on TikTok, you should follow Normie Puppet.
Okay, we'll see you next week when we talk about Spider-Man.
大家忙 ，Rice noodle。
雪花飘飘，北风萧萧，天地一片